Okay, so the last thing I'm going to highlight, well, not even last thing, the next interaction that we're going to look at is the interaction between rudeness and class. And this was significant according to the ANOVA and multi-level linear model. Whew. Man. Okay, so looking at this interaction, we're actually going to scroll right back up once again to see exactly what it looks like. Here we are. Okay, so is that class and rudeness? Yep. So looking at our ANOVA, it was indicated to be significant, and we know that because it's less than 0.05, and it also has a little tiny asterisk here. Makes it easier on people. But regardless, this means that when you're taking into account attractiveness ratings, the level of rudeness and the level of social class your date has influences that. The attractiveness rating, what I mean. So we're going to actually look at this a little bit more in depth. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a a line graph, and then I'm also going to get the descriptive stats. So the first command here allows me to create the bones for my line graph, and then this next command is going to actually flesh it out. So if you look at the bottom, it actually gives me my line graph for my interaction between class and rudeness, and I'm also going to get the descriptive stats for them. So looking at the descriptive statistics really quickly, individuals who were rated with low class and not rude, they were given higher ratings of attractiveness than those who were moderately rude, than those who are also assholes. Then as we increase in class, we see that you're seeing a decrease in attractiveness. And what I mean by that is just looking here at the not rude, just comparing middle class and low class in the not rude section. See here it's 88.9, so 89. But then you get to not rude here, and it's 85.6, so 86. So you're starting to see a decrease in attractiveness across the board of social class. So looking at our line graph, that's something that we see as well. So even though you have individuals who are not rude, when you're taking into account level of rudeness and you're ignoring class, you see that individuals who are not rude, dates who are not rude, were given higher attractiveness ratings than those who were considered moderately rude or assholes. However, when you take into account class, you see that lower class individuals across the board all have high ratings of attractiveness. The only time you see a big dip for attractiveness rating in regards to the lower class, or just in regards to class in general, is when you have assholes. So looking a little bit further at that, I think I actually looked at that for the contrast. Let me scroll up to see if we can interpret that. Where are we? Yes, we are. Oh no, not the whole blue. Jesus. Class, middle, rudeness, extreme. There you go. Okay, it looks like it wants to blue everything. Anyways. Ha! Here we are. So I'm going to tackle on the first thing that is less than 0.05. Actually, I'll just move from the bottom up. So comparing the not rude versus rude and lower class and middle class, you see that this is significantly this is significant. So this means that there are differences in attractiveness ratings when you account for individuals who are not rude and just rude, so moderately rude in regards to social class and lower class and middle class. So individuals who were not rude, oh geez, man, I can see why some people have trouble interpreting this, but that's okay. We're going to get it. So individuals who were of lower class, not rude, were actually okay. So individuals who were of either no individuals who are not rude, of middle class or lower class, were given high ratings of attractiveness. No. You know what? I think this is what this means. And I know I'm kind of funky with this, but bear with me. So in a sense, individuals who were like who are not rude were given higher attractiveness ratings when they were also in low class and compared to middle class. Which that makes sense, because look at what our graph is telling us. Individuals who are low class and not rude were given higher attractiveness ratings than those who were middle class and not rude. So that's what that's telling us. Whew, I just could not get those words out of my mouth. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to look at, oh boy, excuse me, I yawned. Anyways, so looking at where are you? Up there. At rude versus extreme. So those who were moderately rude compared to those who were assholes in middle class, in lower class and middle class. This was a this was not a significant p-value. It's actually greater than 0.05. So what this suggests is that there were no differences in participants' ratings of those who were I'm just going to keep the clicker here. Those who were like either low class or middle class, they were rather similar. However, if they were significant, then we'd be saying the opposite. Now, when you're looking at individuals who were, when you're looking at not rude to rude, so not rude to moderately rude, you see that this is also a non-significant value. So this suggests that there is this suggests that there are similar ratings and attractiveness for individuals who were of middle class and were not rude than to those who were like extremely rude to assholes and like middle class and wealthy or upper class. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know how people do this. Well, I do this all the time. This is just a longer video for me. But anyways, so looking at the next contrast that we have, the fourth contrast, on our final one, thank you, Jesus. We see that there's actually a significant value. It's actually greater than 0.05. So this suggests that ratings of attractiveness were actually different when you compare when you're comparing levels of rudeness to individuals who are in the middle class and upper class. So just really quickly to pull up that So those who are in the middle class and upper class that are moderately rude actually had higher attractiveness ratings for those who were seen as assholes. So in all essence, what the picture is telling us is that the level of rudeness doesn't really, I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter. It appears that as you increase in level of rudeness, you're actually seen as like less attractive, which that makes sense. And also, if you are in the low middle class, if you're in the low class, you're actually seen regardless of the level of rudeness, you're actually seen as more attractive if you are in that class. So in essence, it doesn't really matter. The only time that level of rudeness matters is when it's the only time social class really matters is when you're not rude. Not when you're not rude. It's when not participants, when your dates are of middle class. In that case, and then when you are upper class and middle class and you're an asshole. Oh my god. So, so as I was saying before, with two-way interactions, you want to interpret them if you only have you want to focus on them and only interpret them if you have like main effects. So essentially what I'm trying to say is higher order interactions supersede lower interactions. So not interactions, Jesus. Essentially what I'm trying to say is interactions come before main effects. But when you take into account interactions, if you have a three-way interaction, you have a two-way interaction, you're mainly going to focus on the three-way interaction rather than the two-way interaction. So I'm only doing this for illustrative purposes. Now, the next video that I'm going to do, well, actually, I think I have time for it. Yeah, I have time for it. Oh yeah, we're doing this. I'm knocking this out. So, the next interaction that I'm actually going to look at is an interaction between rudeness, class, and gender. So that is our three-way interaction. So this is our big one. Oh. Yeah, this is the big one, alright. It's the last one. Well, after effects class, that's it. Anyways. So, scrolling right back up to our ANOVA, we see that we have a significant p-value here for our gender, class, and rudeness. So this suggests that when you account for all of these variables, or when you consider all of these variables, they actually interact with one another to influence attractiveness ratings. So there are gender differences that occur in attractiveness ratings when you account for social class and level of rudeness. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create the line graph to show what essentially this is telling us. So the first command actually creates the bones of the line graph. The second one right here fleshes it out. And then the last command, I'm just going to get the descriptive stats. Now in the next video, I'm actually going to go in depth with this interaction. Just because I have like 15 seconds left. So if you notice, this is the same descriptive stats that we had in the beginning of our video. Kind of cool. We already were looking at our data ahead of time. So I'll highlight the interaction in the next video.